Navigate the shadows, embrace the light, and embrace the fog, or not.
I never believed in those small-town ghost stories. You know the ones. The monster that only shows up under certain conditions, terrorizing kids while parents exchange knowing glances, too afraid to talk about it. I always thought they were meant to keep us in line. But then, last month on the night of the new moon, I met the Diddler. It was supposed to be a normal evening. I was babysitting the Martins' two kids, Charlie and Lily. They were good kids, rarely gave me any trouble, and their parents usually paid well for a Friday night gig. I didn't mind that it was late September, and the moon was supposed to be invisible. The darkness outside never bothered me, until that night. Everything was fine until about 9:30 p.m. We were watching a movie in the living room, and I noticed Charlie kept fidgeting, glancing nervously at the window. I asked him if he was okay, but he didn't say anything, just kept looking out into the blackness. Then Lily, who had been unusually quiet all night, spoke up. "Have you ever seen the Diddler?" I laughed. "What's that? Another one of your scary stories?" Charlie shook his head, his face dead serious. "It's not just a story. The Diddler comes out on nights like this, when the moon's gone." I tried to play it off, but something about the way they both stared at me made my skin crawl. I checked my phone. No messages, no weird alerts. Just a normal, quiet night. But the more I thought about it, the quieter the house seemed. Too quiet. Charlie pointed at the window. "You can hear him if you're really quiet." My heart rate quickened. I don't know why, but I found myself glancing at the window too. The curtains were drawn, but I could feel the suffocating emptiness beyond them, like something was pressing against the glass, waiting. "Okay, let's not get carried away," I said, turning the TV volume up. The noise just made it worse. It was like it couldn't drown out the tension hanging in the air. Lily looked pale, her small hands gripping her stuffed rabbit like it was the only thing keeping her tethered to reality. Then the scratching started. At first, I thought it was just the wind brushing branches against the house. But then, it grew louder. Slow, deliberate, like fingernails dragging against the wood. I muted the TV, heart pounding in my throat. Charlie whispered, "That's him." My chest tightened. I got up and walked over to the window, trying to keep my steps quiet, as if whatever was outside might hear me. I reached for the curtain, but before I could pull it back, there was a loud thunk. Something hit the window hard. I jumped back, heart racing. "Don't look," Lily said. Her voice was barely a whisper, but it cut through the silence like a blade. "If you see him, he'll see you." I froze, hand still, halfway to the curtain. What the hell was I doing? I'm an adult. There's no such thing as monsters, right? But then, I heard it. A soft, almost playful tapping against the glass. Tap, 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 tap. A chill ran down my spine. "The Diddler taps when he's close," Charlie said in that eerie, childlike way that makes your skin crawl. "He likes to let you know he's watching." I couldn't take it anymore. I had to look. Maybe it was just a tree branch or some animal. Something normal. I slowly drew the curtain back, just enough to peek outside. There was nothing. No branches, no raccoons, no creepy man in the yard, just darkness. A thick, oppressive blackness that seemed to swallow everything beyond the porch light. I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. "See? Nothing out there," I said, turning back to the kids. But then, from the corner of my eye, I saw it. Movement. Something was crawling up the side of the house. I snapped my head back to the window, but there was nothing again. No movement, no shadow, just the wind rustling the trees. Then the sound came back. Louder now. Closer. The scratching. Moving from the window to the front door. And then that tapping. Soft at first, then louder. Tap, 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 tap. I slowly approached the door, my heart hammering in my chest. I pressed my ear against the wood, hoping, praying I was imagining things. And then I heard it. Breathing. Low and ragged, just on the other side. Lily's voice cracked from behind me. "He's here for you." I stumbled back, my hand gripping the doorknob. "Don't open it!" Charlie cried, rushing toward me, his eyes wide with terror. But I couldn't stop myself. My hand was moving on its own, like something was compelling me to open the door, to see whatever was out there. As I turned the knob, the door creaked open just a crack, and I saw it. A pale, gaunt face. Eyes too wide, a grin too large. The Diddler. He looked like something that had once been human but twisted into something grotesque and wrong. His bony fingers, long and crooked, tapped against the door as he leaned in, his breath rancid, his voice a low whisper.
Found you.
I slammed the door shut, bolted it and stumbled back, my heart racing, sweat pouring down my face. The tapping continued for what felt like hours, but I didn't dare move. The next thing I knew, it was morning. The sun was rising and everything seemed normal. The Diddler was gone. But every month when the new moon comes, I hear it again. The tapping. And I know. It's only a matter of time before he gets in. The Diddler is always watching.